for anyone who's participated in one of my workshops, could be about DISC or Courageous Conversations or culture, you would have heard me talk about the research that Google did called Project Aristotle. So this is a study which looked at why some teams excel and why others don't. So Google started out with the idea that surely if you put great people together in a team, they should create a great team. And as we know, that doesn't always happen. So a team of pretty ordinary people can sometimes outperform a team of great stars. And Google wanted to know why. So after researching 37,000 of its people, 180 teams in total, Google found that there were 5 key elements which shaped an effective team. The first was psychological safety. So can we take risks like speaking up or making a mistake without feeling insecure or embarrassed? Second was dependability. Can we count on each other to do high quality work on time? Third was structure and clarity. Are the goals, roles, and the execution plan of our team really clear? Fourth was meaning of work. Are we working on something that's actually really personally important to each of us? And fifth was the impact of the work. Do we fundamentally believe that the work that we're doing really matters? Hi there, I'm Linda Murray, founder of Athena Leadership Academy. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the number one thing that you need to really perfect when it comes to building more trust and a culture of psychological safety in your teams. So when I asked my network recently if they felt safe to voice their opinions in the workplace without, judgment or fear of being reprimanded, 33%, a third, actually said no, they didn't. And it's a bit of a worry because if you look closely at each of those 5 keys of psychological safety, you'll notice that there's one important element underpinning each of them. What is it? Well, the one thing required for building a collaborative, creative, and psychologically safe culture is communication. So the Project Aristotle team uncovered 2 group norms of successful teams. One was that no person dominated conversation. Everyone contributed pretty much equally. And the second was that team members were aware of and really able to interpret the facial expressions of their team members and understand how they were all feeling. So it's not just verbal communication that matters, it's the EQ or the emotional intelligence of the team, the emotional awareness and the non-verbal communication that really matters. And this makes sense, doesn't it? This is the kind of communication that creates psychological safety that every team needs. So what does this mean for you as a leader, especially when it comes to working in hybrid teams? And honestly, it might take a little bit of soul searching for you. Here are some questions that you can ask yourself. Do you make sure that video cameras are on when meetings are online? I think of cameras off is the equivalent of sitting in a meeting room with each other, but having your backs to the table and to one another. We wouldn't do that in person, so why do it online? Do you make sure everyone in a meeting has pretty valuable and equal airtime? Do you dominate team conversations yourself? Do you let others lead when they can? Do you communicate honestly with your team, even when you know that they're not going to like what they hear? Do you encourage open and honest conversations with your team, really without judgment? Do you or are you perceived to criticize people and their ideas or results? And are you personally, as the team leader, are you emotionally intelligent? Are you aware of verbal and non-verbal cues that your people are giving out? This is a skill that I believe we all need to hone throughout our entire lives. Listening for tone, observing the non-verbal cues. So fostering great interpersonal communication in your team starts with you. You are leading by example, whether you're aware of it or not. So instead of focusing on just work-related skills in your team or technical skills, start looking at who's on your team and how well are they working together. Look at how you work with your team and how you lead them. So have open and honest conversations. Really help your team to examine its current norms and to understand them and change what doesn't work. Involve them in the decision-making process whenever you can. And probably more importantly, help them understand not just what's happening, but why it's happening. I firmly believe that solid interpersonal and courageous communication skills create the right conditions for success. So I've coached thousands of leaders and teams to really improve their communication skills. And I've seen the difference that it makes not only for their teams, but the overall organization's culture and success. Investing in everyone's communication skills is really critical if you want high-performing teams, whether that's in person, remote, or hybrid. And in creating high-performing teams with a culture of psychological safety, if that sounds good to you, please reach out and get in touch. Our programs and workshops include Courageous Conversations and Communicating with Impact, and they have great results in teams, and I'd be more than happy to share some of the feedback and our success stories with you. Alternatively, you can take advantage of the ebook Courageous Conversations, Your Competitive Advantage, which is in the resources area of our website, and I've also popped the link in the comments section below. So until next time, here's to your success.